Hello everyone, my name is Shep. Welcome back to the Butcher's Circus. Today we're going to be watching a match between myself and Zocky McZock. So he was a veteran rank player, and it's going to be a match between two stress teams. On the enemy side, we have an occultist, which is usually a really strong character if you don't have any direct way of focusing him down. I mean, some people just believe that if you can't stop the occultist from using the tentacles, that what's it called, the abyssal artillery, the opponent's just gonna do far too much stress, and that is somewhat true, as we might see here. So immediately I try to go for a slam on his Crusader, both because I don't want him to stun me before I can transform, as well as knocking him out of position would have been quite nice because he wouldn't have been able to use stuns or zealous. And I really don't care too much about Holy Lance in this matchup. It's more about the stress here. So I'm gonna start off with a bolster, which I think is just gonna be great value overall. I mean, it really is gonna be great value. I don't know why my opponent didn't go for a bolster there. Maybe he doesn't have it. I don't know. We have yet to see. So essentially here, the team I have, this is the Sheperd Stress team. This is one of my favorites. Like, I've been playing it really a lot recently. Essentially you have like these three staple characters for stress teams, which are the Doggy, the MAA, and the A-Bomb, which are all just gonna do a bunch of stress. As you can see, like, those crits hurt. Yeah, 25 stress, as well as plenty of DOD as well. The Man-at-Arms can just be a Bellow bot, and Abomination can transform. But the Flagellant here, his goal is just to be a beast at sort of like the end game. As well as, you know, the Flagellant is a weird one, the way he works, because he's overpowered. Like, you just know he's overpowered because of the way his character kind of works. I mean, he gets stronger and stronger the lower his HP is, and he has like all these broken abilities like Exsanguinate and Redeem, as well as Gauntlet of Absolution. You just have to make him work in your specific team. And you see this Flagellant here, like, well, he's not being very useful, is he, in this sort of stress team? I mean, he's not taking any stress, essentially. But, like, okay, he just healed the Abomination a little bit. But overall, for the first few turns, it kind of feels like the Flagellant might not be too useful. But you'll see, like, why this team's combination is just brutal. Because if you ignore the Flagellant, essentially he's gonna stay there and keep using Punish, and by the end of the game you won't be able to kill him. But if you try to focus him down, well, he has double healing trinkets and he's almost impossible to kill. Which just gives the stress team, like, kind of, which you really love in stress teams. You don't want to die, you want your characters to survive for as long as possible. The Flagellant is, like, just absolutely perfect for that. So yeah, here I use a command because my opponent has a relatively decent amount of dodge, and you know, especially that occultist, as well as, I mean, I wanted the accuracy plus the crits with the Hound Scary, so I'm really hoping to make that work. You can see my backline's already getting stressed out like crazy because of the Abyssal Artillery. It's really strong. So 14% crit chance, unfortunately no crits. At this point I'm seeing, like, okay, I might not be doing enough stress. This is bad. I want to get crit. Yeah, right there I think I'm highlighting the Fleshbound Grimoire, because I really was feeling to myself that I'm losing the stress race at this point. But that's okay, we can withstand. Do not worry. Yeah, here I have an option, like, do I want to use Reclaim on the Doggy to make him stay alive a bit longer? Do I want to use a Punish? There's lots of things you can do here. I think I eventually just go for a Punish. I can't remember everything in the match. Oh, I might go for a Reclaim. Yeah, I actually did remember this. I'm going for a Reclaim here on the Man-at-Arms, and then I will likely go for a Redeem on the Houndmaster, which is essentially gonna top all of my characters. So the Flagellant here is just being an amazing healer. Which, I mean, it shouldn't be the thing you're most concerned about in a stress matchup, but it's still important to, well, keep your characters above 0 HP. think here I'm gonna... Yeah, I don't take enough stress because of the bolster. The minus 15% stress taken. Again, 40% crit chance. You see me highlighting it. You know, it's relatively likely with all these characters, but no crit chance again. You see a flick of the mouse there. Also no bleed on the Crusader. I'm annoyed. I'm very much annoyed. But even then, the Hound's Ares overall is still great. Like, if you count how much damage it's doing, it's like 1 damage on hit, so that's like 4. Then 24 from bleeding because it's 6 times 4. So it's pretty much 30 damage most of the time, and 15 stress on each character. So 30 damage on the entire team and 60 stress without crits. So that's really good. So just being able to hit all those characters is great. Okay, we're gonna start belloing. I think it's the first bellow we've done actually, because we went bolster into command. Sometimes you just start bellowing first. It's just that against stress teams, you really need to use that bolster. It helps so much. Here I'm quite happy that he goes for that, because he knocks my Flagellant closer to death's door. Because at the time, before he used that Zealous accusation, what was gonna happen was I wasn't gonna drop quite to 0 HP. I would probably still have to heal, but now since I dropped to 0 HP, I heal all the other characters for like a little bit, which is nice. Also, not stunning my Abomination is gonna let me get another transform. Goals the recently afflicted doggy just says, no, I don't think so. So I decide to just heal the Abomination. You ask, well, why didn't you go for an Exsanguinate instead? Wouldn't that have been better? I prefer to use my redeems first, so I can use Exsanguinate for the end of the match. And also there's no great Exsanguinate target. Oh, look at that, 2 crits. That's quite unfair. Like, we have the same doggy setup, but I have command buffs and he doesn't. I have dodge and he doesn't have dodge, but he gets 2 crits and I get 0. And that's just how the Butcher Circus works. Yeah, we get our second transformation here by round 3, so that's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. So usually 2 transformations you should do lots of damage, but because of the battle debuffs, yeah, not quite. Obviously we're knocking back the Crusader, so he can't use Zealous or Stunning Blow. We don't want to let him do that. There's a crit there, but at least we get a dodge. That dodge actually really helps. As you'll see, it's gonna let our doggy stay alive for a bit longer. We have one final command buff. Here I was a bit concerned, like, please do not do something stupid. I need a Hound's Harry right now. And again, no crits. Oh, that is just unfortunate. But at least we get afflictions. We get an abusive Man-at-Arms, which is probably the best affliction you can hope for on a Man-at-Arms. If you're playing against one, because he has a chance of stunning his own characters, which, yeah, I mean, that's just awesome. We get a Fearful Occultist, so he has a very high pass chance. I believe it's 12%. So yeah, let's see. And here he clicks the doggy and the Irrational. Also, I mean, Irrational can pretty much do anything. One of those is passing. Monks himself doesn't really do anything for us. Yeah, you see me highlighting the abusive Man-at-Arms there. I mean, it's me realizing, oh shit, he went abusive, that's really good for us. Yeah, but overall, we're really losing the stress battle because, I mean, there's a lot of horror on our backline. Pretty much only because of that occultist. Now, here I do an act out. Well, it's not terrible. I remember thinking to myself, okay, not great, not terrible. At least the doggy can't heal himself anymore. And actually the Crusader doesn't have Holy Lance anymore either, so that's good. Here finally have Bolster actually paying its worth, because I haven't been getting any dodges, so that feels good. Yeah, now we're just trying to do as much stress as possible, so those act outs are feeling good. You know, slowly, gently. I mean, my entire team is collapsing, except the Flagellant. Flagellant's chilling. He's getting close to an affliction, but he's not there yet. Not quite. The thing is, right now, what I'm hoping for is hopefully still get one more Hound's Harry. Like, a really good Hound's Harry. Just potentially get a crit, like, on the Man-at-Arms. So we do a bit more damage. And with that, it would just, it would be great. It would be great because it would make his entire team go down to 0 HP in a few rounds. And overall, he would have to start focusing on healing, like with the Crusader and with Cultist, and that is just never gonna take him anywhere in a stress matchup like this. So we go for bleed here on the Houndmaster, 0% bleed res. Yeah, you literally can't fail those. What is the Occultist gonna do? Just a bit of stress. Fearful, not causing anything massive just yet. There's another Abyssal Artillery, 25% death blow chance, by the way. So we are not gonna get that fabled final Hound's Harry crit. We didn't get a single Hound's Harry crit, actually. Oh, no, we got one by round 1. So yeah, that's the only thing. He has just enough bleed on us to deny our regen. So right now I need to think really, really hard on what I want to do. Because I don't want to let this Man-at-Arms die. But, well, if I click the Man-at-Arms, he dies. If I click the Flagellant, I heal him for a little bit. But then that can just be met with, like, literally anything, and he still dies. So I decide to just click the Abomination here, just kind of a passing move. Here the Houndmaster actually passes, so that's really good for us. Irrational, good affliction. So yeah, here you see me thinking, well, I mean, the obvious move is going to be to click the Flagellant here, because, or else the Man-at-Arms just dies. You just have to ask yourself, how much is that saving me? What is the best move? I'm going to drop to 0 HP either way. Should I drop a Redeem? Should I drop an Exsanguinate? What's our best choice here? I end up dropping a Redeem on the Abomination, which in hindsight, I mean, it's kind of a questionable play, because he's gonna drop, I mean, he's not gonna drop by HP, he's gonna drop by stress, but essentially what I wanted to do was, I felt like I didn't think the Man-at-Arms would take more than 4 damage from the Abyssal Artillery, because my opponent is Fearful, and Fearful is minus 25% damage. So I just thought, like, okay, in case he gets a crit Zealous onto our A-bomb and like tries to do a bunch of damage, we'll be fine. Yeah, here we get to survive, which is it's awesome. But next turn we're just gonna die anyway. But of course the Man-at-Arms in his final action might as well have stayed dead, because he moves forward and disrupts our Flagellant. But what can you do? At least that's a lot of stress we just did with that Bellow. So this is getting close. This is getting really close. The thing is, the Man-at-Arms is essentially dead, even from the Horror. The Horror is enough to kill him. And the Abomination is getting really close as well. He still has 2 Absolutions, so if you use an Absolution after you get a heart attack, you have, like, you go back to 150 stress, as well as having a minus 15% stress taken and the bolster buffs. So you kind of get a very, very tanky against stress after the heart attack with the A-bomb, and you just use Absolution. So there's always that option, but still, he's not going to be the one that's going to be surviving for far too long. That burden might just go to the Flagellant. Here he goes for a very unnecessary ability on the Man-at-Arms. I mean, he tried to heal the doggy first. The doggy said no because he's irrational. I just feel like going for some a heart attack right now on the A-bomb might have just been superior. I mean, I'm gonna click him now and I'm gonna drop either way, but he could have done way more things rather than just doing that. At this point, it's a 2v4, and my Flagellant is out of position, and my Abomination is, well, he just had a heart attack. He's not feeling too good. Here I'm thinking, well, I do a bit of stress with my melee abilities. It says stress dealt 0, but that's actually not true. I have the Clasp of the Beast, I think that's how it's called. So I do 5 stress with my melee abilities. But I just decided to do what I was talking about. So yeah, you can see now heart attack recovery and bolster buff, and the Abomination is feeling fine. Essentially, my game plan here was I'm just gonna let the enemy's afflictions like tear him apart. That was my plan. So let his afflictions tear him apart, and for now we should be fine. Fortunately, there we get quite a lucky dodge. Oh no, what's he gonna do? And hits the A-bomb for 9, which is actually terrible, because now there goes his beautiful amount of HP. It was gonna keep him out of death's door for quite a while, but maybe not any longer. So here I have the option of just using a redeem or going forward. Can't quite remember what I went for, but the problem with using a redeem is that it would kind of put my Flagellant in a weird position, because I'm gonna have to move next round either way. So I wouldn't want to die prematurely anyway. So you can see with the trinkets I have on this Flagellant, the Gauntlet of Absolution is obviously making me really tanky. Oh, look at that second pass with the Irrational Doggy. That's just beautiful. Now the Abusive Men-at-Arms. Probably gonna go for an act out. And that's a heart attack. It's an act out stress, and yeah, the doggy is done for. And oh, the replay is messed up, isn't it? Okay, so he went for a retribution on our Abomination, dealt like 0 damage, and the occultist now just clicked on himself and passed. So that's just awesome. So we got 2 passes, an act out, and a dodge on round 6. So that's just beautiful. And here we do enough damage because we went Rapturous, so Rapturous is increasing our damage. Now the occultist just clicks. I think he does an act out for some stress, causing the Men-at-Arms to have a heart attack, and like they're just falling like dominoes, aren't they? Yeah. Still, the replay being this shitty is not very cool. But yeah, he went for a weakening curse on the A-bomb, which is definitely reasonable play. Here I have the option of just going for manacles, but I think, like, oh, you know what, screw that. If he gets a crit riposte, and if he gets a crit riposte, my Abomination's literally dead, so I just think, like, nah, it's not worth it. That's not worth it. Let him just do whatever he wants. Let him kill himself with his abusive. So, yeah, at this point... Oh, what's the Flagellant gonna do? Just a bit of stress. Full stress, like, who cares? Yeah, healing myself with Absolution, that's gonna make me very likely to just survive the riposte, eventually. I want to go for a Beast Smile, which is gonna be my only way of dealing stress at this point. So there's another weakening curse. It's gonna cause a heart attack, but we do not care because now we have the regen. So there's the 6. We can just go for a Beast Smile. And of course, as I mentioned, the crit riposte. So doing a grand total of like 17 stress, I believe. It would have killed us last round if he had gotten a crit riposte. But now since we were at 175, it was a bit better, and oh, yeah, act out kills the occultist. Doesn't stress himself. That would have been funny if the occultist death stressed himself. So yeah, there's the bellow. And you just have to feel like, I mean, it just feels so bad for that Man-at-Arms at this point, doesn't it? Even if he was at full HP, even if he didn't have much stress on him, what is he to do against a Flagellant? I mean, you can't stress him out with Bellow. You're doing like 2 stress per Bellow. You cannot stress him out. Your Retribution is doing 1 damage on activation. The Flagellant still has 3 Exsanguinates. And look at how much he heals himself with this freaking Exsanguinate. 30! That's almost his entire health bar without a crit. That is just ridiculous. I mean, if you're a Man-at-Arms and you see a Flagellant as the last character, oh my god. Yeah, how much stress was that? Oh, it was 3. I'm sorry, not 2. 3. I'm terribly sorry, gentlemen. And now the punish. I'm gonna punish him for his mistake of not accounting for a Flagellant on the enemy team. And GG, away goes Man-at-Arms. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay. It was fun playing this match, as you can probably imagine. It's always fun when the Flagellant can just carry like a maniac. It's because he seems so not very useful at the start of the match. I mean, the other characters are transforming, they're using Bellow, they're doing Hound Fairy crits, and the Flagellant there is like healing the other characters for 6. But at the end of the match, like, oh my god, he is alive. Oh, what am I gonna do about him? Well, you're gonna do nothing. You're gonna wave the white flag and you're gonna surrender. Or you're gonna suffer the pain of the Flagellant. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers.